Welcome back, rankers. How are you going? What a year, and how it started is amazing. So much has happened already. Google's still losing more traffic. I've done an interview with a guy you may be familiar with, who I've mentioned often on this show over the last 20 years, and that is a bloke called David Meerman Scott. Got that interview coming up, just got to edit it and get it out there, so stay tuned for that. But I wanted to talk to you about all the hoopla about a new model that's come out of China, a new large language model called DeepSeek. And you may have seen it in the news, and a lot of people saying, don't use it, don't use it. China's going to get all your data. Oh, maybe. But for most people, OpenAI is getting all your data right now anyway, if you are not opting out of them training on your data, which you can't do with the DeepSeek app. But the important thing, and a lot of the articles that I've read, and this is the important distinction that a lot of them are missing, is that this model is essentially open source, meaning that you can go and download the model yourself, go and download the software, which I've done, and you can run it on your own machine, or you can run it on someone else's machine. That data isn't going anywhere. It's staying on your machine. I've even seen some cybersecurity experts tell me that, oh yeah, but you don't know what's going on in the code. It's a large language model. Essentially, it's a large spreadsheet. It's not going to be sending your data off to China if you're running it on your own machine. The app, different story. Don't know how it works, whatever. But to give you an idea of why this is so groundbreaking and why people are talking about it a lot, and we've seen some of the large tech stocks lose value, reportedly because of the release of this model. Now, what does it actually mean to you running your business? Well, not a lot, except that AI is about to get a lot cheaper. And the reason for that is that this company, it's a hedge fund out of China, they've built this model, and a lot of the reports are saying it's almost as good as some of the leading models that are out there, including OpenAI, including Claude, and including a few of the others. Probably not quite there, but for most businesses, it's probably good enough. And I think it's better than OpenAI's GPT 4.0. I think it's better than that. And it's certainly better than Gemini.google.com. I can tell you that right now. And this is just a simple thing I've done, and why I'm trying to illustrate why this is such a moment for AI. These guys have built this model. They've leveraged off a whole lot of open source that has gone before them. And the reports are that they only spent $5 or $6 million US training their model, whereas Claude, Anthropic spent tens of millions training their last model, and OpenAI spent billions on training their models. So it's reported in some circles. Some people are saying, oh yeah, but they probably spent a lot more than that. It doesn't matter. It's open source. And both the leaders in AI, both OpenAI and Claude, Anthropics, they don't have any open source models. I mean, you have to pay to play unless you get the free version. You can't download anything. With this one, the open source community can download and build on this model themselves, fine tune it, do whatever they want, build new versions of it. And because it is essentially free, they can host it themselves, like I'm doing here. I went and built another search engine. You may remember I built one a couple of years ago. This is another one I've built using their model. And I'm using Tivoli once again to go and collect the information off the internet. And then this model just goes and distills it. And you can see there the big difference with this model. One of the things that it's got that, say, the Anthropic models don't have, and certainly it's only just been introduced into the OpenAI O1 models and the O3 model, if you have access to that, is reasoning. And that means you get a lot better output when the model takes more time to essentially use reasoning to think about the answer that they're going to give. And you can see it in this search here. I've said, is TikTok banned in the US? And you can see between those think tags there is all its reasoning. And I'll give you another one. Let's just see how up to date it is. Helps if I click on the window. What is the weather in Melbourne today? And you can see it's going to go out and have a think about that. This isn't as fast as Google. It's running on my machine. It's not running on Google servers, right? It's running on a MacBook. And I've got the model running on a MacBook. It's going off and doing all those things. But the other thing about this and why it's going to become cheaper is because all of these other models are charging you for token usage. You know, how much data you send the model versus how much data that you get back. That's where the charges happen. for all of these tools and things that are out there. You don't see that on ChatGPT. You pay your fee, and ChatGPT, for those of you who don't know, ChatGPT is like a layer on top of the model. It's a layer that allows you to have a chat with the model, and this is similar. It's a chat window on top of the model, and then it uses a search tool to go out and find data. And you can see that was pretty quick. And the thing about this is that it's completely private. There's no one looking over my shoulder. There's no cookies. There's no advertising. There's nothing. It's just running on my machine. It's local, and I can use it for all my searches. I probably won't because it's a bit slow. I'm probably still going to be for search, in case you're interested. And this is where it gets down to now, and how it's changed. And I'm seeing this more and more. I'm asking people, and I've asked David Meerman Scott, as you'll see in the interview that comes out this week, how he's using Google now. And people just aren't clicking on the organic blue links as much as they used to. And the reason for that is because, as we've shown, as I've said in the book, people are getting their answers from other areas now. They're getting it from ChatGPT, they're getting it from, or SearchGPT, they're getting it from Perplexity.ai, and they don't have to wade through those 10 blue links. But what I've also seen happening with a lot of individuals who have said this to me is that even if they are using Google, they're not clicking on the 10 blue links either. They're using the AI overviews. So Google has maybe stemmed some of those searches that were going off to ChatGPT and to Perplexity.ai, but they haven't necessarily helped their publisher network at all, which is, I think, possibly where their revenue is really suffering. And that's because informational search, which is the destination sites for informational search, are things like blogs, are things like publishing sites, are things like Stack Overflow, are things like, all of those people that answer your questions, like Excel blogs. Who's going to an Excel blog now? I think it would be rare, right? And all of those sites, of course, have Google ads on them. Google's not seeing that traffic anymore, and it's not going to be seeing the traffic with the AI overviews either. And so my search habits now, if I want brand information, i.e. I just want to go to their website, I'm probably going to use Google, just with the Omnibox, the location bar, this thing up here, and I'll just type in the brand. That's the fastest way. I tried using ChatGPT or SearchGPT as my default search engine in the browser, and it was rubbish. And the reason it was rubbish wasn't because of the results. It's because of the way that I use the search bar and the way that I've been trained to use that search bar, or this Omnibox, as we're calling it, since Google Chrome came out and made that also the search field as well as the address bar. And that is, if I want something quickly, I'm going there first. It's navigation search is what we call it. And I'll still use Google for navigation search, or if I want to find out something that I know that they do well, possibly like the weather, although I don't use Google for the weather. But the other one that I'm using, which is really good for up-to-date information, especially if you're trying to get information or the buzz around something, is Grok on Twitter. I can't say Twitter, on X. And the reason for that is that I will go to X more often than not if I'm looking for the very latest information, because it has access, of course, to all of these searches, all of the tweets, all of the posts, everything on X. It has instant research. So I'll be going there for my search engine if I want to find out what's happening with AI, usually the latest models, all that sort of thing, who's talking about it. Because and there's another model that's just come out. So what is the latest on the this is another model out from China, Quen, I think it's 2.5, and I think it's VL is the model I want. And it's going to go out and tell me everyone who's talking about it, give me the websites, and then give me an overview of what's happening. You won't be able to do that in Google, certainly. You can still do that in SearchGPT. You get pretty good answers out of SearchGPT, and also, obviously, Perplexity.ai. But they're the three search leaders at the moment. So this is what we've got to cater for as business owners. We can't, the day of this, the idea of making tricks happen, or trying to, I guess, optimize for all of these different sort of search tools that are out there now, it's getting really difficult. So all you can really do is optimize your search, or sorry, optimize your sites to give the best answers possible, to have the best user experience. Everything that we've been saying for probably at least the last 2 years and definitely beyond that. And the other thing that we're seeing now, which is great, I love it, is a lot of people talking about brand. All the SEOs are talking about brand now. And as you know, I presented about brand back in 2016 and why it was the only, I guess, killer hack when it comes to SEO. It's the ultimate hack when it comes to SEO. And people are now finding that, yeah, Google actually sees it that way as well. So focus on your brand, focus on your user base, increase that audience, and be the first destination people think about, so that they are actually doing brand search before they start their query. That's the goal of every business, right? Google did it. ChatGPT did it. Claude's still trying to do it. X hasn't done it yet for Grok, certainly. But be that first choice, be that top of mind choice. And I know that might sound a huge mountain to climb, but you only have to be it within your category. You don't have to take out television ads or anything like that. You've just got to be that brand in your category for your audience. Hopefully that's helpful. If you've got any questions about AI and how you can maybe leverage it in your business, hit us up. We're talking to businesses all the time. We've created so many different tools that have helped our business and our clients, and we're happy to talk to anyone else about that as well. And thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Thanks very much. Bye.